Thank you, Shelly, for the introduction. I'm going to have Houston go through this pattern once, and then we can talk about it, and I'll kind of talk through it as he goes. And if there's any questions, we'll answer them, and then we'll run back through it another time. And then we're going to do the level 2, level 3 select ranch riding first, and then we'll do the level 1 after that. Go ahead, Houston. Right here is a regular walk. The judges are going to be behind my back here. You're going to turn the corner at the walk and then hit the extended trot. Good breakdown to the walk right there. I always try to stop my stirrup at the pole. Side pass left. Good regular trot here into the lope. He's going to extend the lope right here and collect. And then Houston did a simple lead change for us. It can be simple or flying. He picked a good line here that the judges can see him. They're going to be sitting over there to his right. You don't want to get too close over there to the wall. You're going to stop and a back and a half turn to the right and exiting at the trot. So on that half turn to the right, it's not a rollback. It's just simply a half turn. You can, for a higher degree of difficulty, try to blend it a little bit better, just like Houston did that, but don't feel like you need to rush out of that if your horse isn't good at that. Show your horse to the best of your and your horse's ability for some of those maneuvers like that. And the same with the side pass. Slow down on those slower maneuvers and don't try to rush things if your horse isn't the best at those. If they're good at them, go ahead and show it. Are there any questions for this pattern right here? Yeah, and then just like Houston said here, he said when you walk in here, you want to walk in and make a flat line right here, then turn. You know, these patterns say over in the corner, the description of this pattern is intended for the general depiction of the pattern, but you don't have to do it exactly that way, so if you can do that, that might make it just a touch more showy. We got a question here.
To break into your walk.
Right there.
Right there, yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to see
yeah, so and that pole isn't necessarily going to be in that exact spot when we show. It can. Okay, the question was how far away from the pole should you break down to the walk? And that pole can be, that's probably close to where it's going to be, but who knows where they're going to have it set that exact day. This isn't exact for how they're going to have it shown, but I'd say a good at least 20 feet, 25 feet away from the pole. Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Yeah, he'll run through it again.
And picking up the lope, where to pick up the...
The question was, where is he going to pick up the lope? Yeah, you're going to pick up the lope right in the center, kind of where those two big gates connect, I would say. It's drawn right in the center of the arena, and that to me would be center. That was your question? Okay. All right, Houston, if you want to run through it one more time for us, give everybody another look at it before we move to the next pattern. You can even make that breakdown just a touch sooner. Very good. And as far as the simple or the flying lead change goes, this horse is still getting finished at his flying lead change, so that's why we're doing a simple today. There's no benefit to doing one or the other. It's what your horse does best. I feel like it's a higher degree of difficulty to do a flying, but if you're a little iffy on that, it's sometimes better to have a very smooth, simple lead change. There's no penalty for that, having a smooth, simple lead change, if that's what your horse is better at.
Hey, we're gonna, unlike when you guys did the pattern and for the open horses,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna spread this out like we did the amateur
Okay.
first go, just to let them show that extended before they take this turn.
Gotcha. Got it. Yeah, Sierra, my wife here, just said that to make sure, once again, that you stay off the judge's wall.
If you want to continue, he's talking about the stop back up in the 180. If it's a higher degree of difficulty, she can make nice ends.
Mm-hmm.
Higher degree of difficulty, making it more of a rollback, putting everything together.
Yeah, so it reads that it's a half turn. It's not a rollback, but just like in any other ranch riding pattern, the more that these patterns can flow without hesitation, the higher degree of difficulty. But at the same time, don't feel like you're going to be penalized if you shut one maneuver off to the other and then, with an adequate amount of time move to the next one. But the more you can flow it, the more higher degree of difficulty it would be. Showier, yeah. All right, so moving on to the level 1 select ranch champion of champions. Like I said, we're going to set these hay bales a little bit bigger than we did in the open. Whenever you're ready, go ahead, Houston. So this is an extended walk to start this right here. You want to stay forward. You want to start your regular jog kind of at the first hay bale. They'll have probably a start cone like they did in the open somewhere inside the arena and having you ready for the judges to go. And this will be in the performance arena too. So your judges are actually going to be on the side y'all are sitting on, not on the other side. You'll start to pick up the extended lope right after the corner. You'll turn that corner and jog there. This is a trot, a straight line is what they call this maneuver when you read the depiction at the bottom. It is not a simple lead change, so you need to at least jog, I'd say 4 steps before you pick up that left lead lope at the least. You want to make sure you close this circle. There you go. Extend the trot and walk. And then your stop and your back and your turn either direction. Good. So there's a couple things in this pattern that they use the word may. They use the word you may collect to the trot out of your extended trot, and you may collect the lope. So the first time I saw this pattern, it was at the Guthrie Level 1 Cattle Championships, and people showed out on the grass. And that word may really came into play there because we were on the grass, and it's hard to make that downward transition on slick grass versus the dirt. So I think it could go either direction. You could collect right there if you want to before you go into that lower gate, but you don't have to. The word may, it leaves it up to you and what you and your horse do best. But know that this pattern was drawn to show originally out on the grass. So that's where the word may comes from. And you know, the ranch riding is supposed to be, you know, we're supposed to be showing like we would when we're out doing ranch work. So if it is, you know, definitely allowed to collect before you go to that next gate. And then, like I said, we want to show that we're trotting far enough, like the words say in maneuver number 6, is trot straight line. So we want to make sure that we've actually shown that trot right there, and we're not just doing more of a simple lead change. Even though that pattern gets tight over there in the performance arena, 4 steps is definitely, you need to go at least that far, those 4 steps, not 2 like you would a simple lead change. And then going around that windmill, it kind of shows you going an extra stride after you close that circle, so show that. Show that you've completed that circle, and then you're going into that extended trot. You know, those are all just different things to make it a touch more showy, but at the end of the day, these patterns are drawn as a depiction to show your horse at the best of its capabilities, so you still want to keep that in mind as well. Any other questions for this level 1 pattern before we go back through it one more time? Well, Houston, just show it to us one more time. I think you picked really good paths right there. Maybe just go one more stride after that windmill and kind of show the closing of that circle. And other than that, I liked your first path really well. Like right there, he just kind of sat down from that extended trot, went a step, and then loped. That would be me using that word may when it's written in here. Good. Yeah, and then the biggest thing with this pattern too is you got to think, like I said earlier, is that those judges are going to be sitting right in the middle on the side y'all are sitting on right now in that performance arena. So make sure when you come around this second hay bale that you don't go too close to the wall to where they can't see you going down that, because they can't judge you if they can't see you. Any other questions?
Can you talk about speed, the difference between the regular jog and extended jog?
Yeah. Yeah, so her question is speed. So how, you know, how do you show that speed? And I think you definitely, your horse has to increase pace. That's one thing. And then for me, you know, in that extended trot, I either want to stand, I'll maybe hold the saddle horn and show my horse at the extended trot that way, or post, one of the two. And then the main thing is that you're showing a difference in speed, difference in gait. You don't have to necessarily go as fast as that horse went or as slow as that horse went. If your horse is good at opening up or is not good at opening up, you still have to show the horse for the best that the horse can be shown. So there isn't an actual mile per hour speed that you have to go, but I feel like your horse needs to increase from the regular gait to that extended gait. And then on the extended lope, some horses have a really good top line if you kind of stand up on them, and same thing, like kind of get over them and push them, and like you're almost a jockey or something, and let them open up that way. And if your horse is good at that, then show that. That's some degree of difficulty, that you're kind of leaving that horse and letting them go forwards on their own. But if your horse needs some help, or you're worried about them swapping out or something like that, then don't push to that extent. But still, there needs to be a change in speed, but there's no set mile per hour that you have to be going for the extension, just it's faster than the regular. You can set the extended trot. There's nothing against it in the rule book. It's not really in style, I would say, I guess, to sit the extended trot. Most people show it by the post or standing up, but there's nothing against it either. So, and it's ranch riding. There's not a set way on how to do things. So if you feel more comfortable sitting it, that your horse won't break gait, then that's probably the best way to show it. Yeah, people can do it. You can do it. Yeah, yeah, it's just how you and your horse fit the pattern the best. There's nothing against sitting. What's that? No, I would say it's not really in style. I mean, you kind of follow the path of what the top end professionals are doing, and a lot of them right now for the extended trot are posting or standing. Yes. Yeah. I believe so. I might need to get that double checked. I think so. Yeah, now the more I think about that, that might be a touch above my pay grade. I might want to get that one checked in the office before I did that one. Sorry, I don't have quite the answer to that one. Maybe Shelly does. Can you hold, the question is, can you hold the saddle horn for the extended lope? Yes. Yes, you can.
Hold the saddle horn at any time.
Yeah, you can hold the saddle.
And as far as the not posting on the extended trot, if you're not going to post, don't make the judge wonder whether it's a trot or an extended trot, because I've judged multiple times where I think somebody intended to.
You want to say that on the mic so people can hear you?
I've judged exhibitors where I think they intended to show that their horse was moved at the extended trot, but because they were sitting, that horse really didn't get some extension. And so in my head, I'm trying to think, well, is he doing the correct pattern? Does he know he's supposed to be extending or not extending? And then when he came back to a trot, there was minimal difference. So we got a negative maneuver on both of those maneuvers. So I'm not saying that you have to pose. I'm just saying if you choose not to, make it obvious. If you do not want to make the judges wonder, you know, we're trying to do that job, and the less you make us try to figure out what you're doing, make it easy for us. Make us want to score you. You know, a lot of people think that when they come in here, you know, those mean old judges, they're just wanting to penalize you, and that's not the case. We want to see you succeed. That is every exhibitor that walks in. We want to see you succeed. We're doing this because we love horses, and it is very cool to watch somebody improve. Somebody sees 2 years ago and they come in and they knock it out of the park. There's nobody that's more on your side than we are. So always remember that. Is this for Bryce?
Whoever.
Pick up on that extended trot and we're posting on the wrong diagonal, but it's a straight line, doesn't matter.
Okay, so she asked a really good question, and we, as a professional, we joke about this all the time, about whether you have to be on the correct diagonal or not. You know, this all depicts from working in the pasture, and we don't do diagonals. You know, we kind of go long distances. It's very difficult, and especially
No, that's a good question because most of the time, if you see me show, I'm probably on the wrong diagonal. Like, seriously, like however I do it, I always end up on the wrong diagonal. But it goes back to ranch work. You know, that's not a worry out there. When we're trying to get across the pasture, we're not worried about what diagonal we're on. There's other important things to do there. And so just making sure that your horse has a good, even, consistent stride at that extended trot is the most important thing, I think, more than anything else. And I agree with 100% with everything Shelly said right there.